Imagine a world engulfed in chaos. A world where the very fabric of society is torn apart by relentless waves of destruction. This was the reality for the people of the Late Bronze Age, a time when civilizations that had flourished for centuries suddenly found themselves on the brink of annihilation. Smoke billows into the sky, a grim testament to the destruction below. The once vibrant cities, bustling with life and activity, are now reduced to smoldering ruins. The air is thick with the acrid smell of burning wood and the cries of those who have lost everything. Once magnificent cities now lie in ruins. These were places of great cultural and economic significance, centers of trade and innovation. Now they are nothing more than ghostly remnants of a bygone era, their grandeur erased by the relentless tide of destruction. The air is thick with the stench of burning wood and the cries of the dying. The devastation is not just physical but also emotional, as families are torn apart and communities are shattered. The survivors are left to pick up the pieces of their broken lives, haunted by the memories of what they have lost. This was the terrifying reality for the inhabitants of the Late Bronze Age, around 1200 BCE, a time when powerful empires and thriving city-states were brought to their knees by an unknown force. The world as they knew it was changing, and there was little they could do to stop it. From the sun-drenched shores of the Aegean Sea to the fertile plains of the Nile River, a mysterious force wreaked havoc. This force, known to history as the Sea Peoples, swept across the region, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Their sudden and violent appearance changed the course of history forever. Their origins remain shrouded in mystery, their motives a subject of debate. Some theories suggest they were displaced peoples, fleeing from environmental disasters or social upheaval in their homelands. Others believe they were opportunistic raiders, taking advantage of weakened states to plunder and conquer. Whatever the truth, their arrival marked a turning point in history. What is certain is the trail of devastation they left in their wake. Cities were burned, populations were displaced, and entire civilizations were brought to their knees. The once thriving trade networks that connected the ancient world were disrupted, leading to economic collapse and social upheaval. Powerful empires which had stood for centuries crumbled before their onslaught. The Hittites, the Mycenaeans, the Egyptians, none were spared the wrath of these enigmatic seafarers. Their military prowess and strategic acumen allowed them to overcome even the most formidable defenses. The Hittites, the Mycenaeans, the Egyptians, none were spared the wrath of these enigmatic seafarers. These once great civilizations, known for their advancements in art, science, and governance, were reduced to rubble. The loss of knowledge and culture was immeasurable, setting humanity back by centuries. Their arrival marked the beginning of the end for the Late Bronze Age, ushering in a period of widespread upheaval and transformation known as the Bronze Age collapse. This era saw the fall of great empires and the rise of new powers, as the world struggled to adapt to the new reality. It was a time of great change, but also of great opportunity, as new societies emerged from the ashes of the old. The story of the Sea Peoples is a tale of mystery, destruction, and the collapse of civilizations. It is a reminder of the fragility of human achievement and the ever-present potential for sudden and catastrophic change. As we look back on this tumultuous period, we are reminded of the resilience of the human spirit and the capacity for renewal and rebirth. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of human achievement in the face of unpredictable forces. The Late Bronze Age in flames serves as a powerful testament to the enduring strength and adaptability of humanity, even in the face of overwhelming odds. As we continue to uncover the secrets of this ancient era, we gain a deeper understanding of our own history and the forces that have shaped our world. To understand the impact of the Sea Peoples, one must first envision the world they shattered. This was a world of grandeur and complexity, where mighty empires and flourishing cultures coexisted, each contributing to a vibrant tapestry of human civilization. The Late Bronze Age, spanning the 15th to 13th centuries BCE, was a time of unprecedented interconnectedness and cultural exchange. Trade routes crisscrossed the Mediterranean, linking distant lands and facilitating the flow of goods, ideas, and technologies. Markets bustled with activity as merchants from various regions bartered and traded, creating a melting pot of cultures and traditions. A network of powerful empires dominated the Mediterranean and Near East. These empires, each with its own unique identity and strengths, formed a complex web of alliances and rivalries. Their interactions shaped the political and cultural landscape of the region, creating a dynamic and ever-evolving world. In the heart of Anatolia, the Hittite Empire stood as a formidable force. Known for their military prowess and strategic acumen, the Hittites were a dominant power in the region. Their capital, Hattusa, was a marvel of ancient engineering, with its massive walls and impressive architecture. Their iron weapons and sophisticated chariots made them a force to be reckoned with. The Hittites were among the first to master the art of ironworking, giving them a significant advantage in warfare. Their chariots, manned by skilled warriors, were a symbol of their military might and technological innovation. To the south, Egypt, ruled by pharaohs such as Ramesses II, basked in the glory of its long and prosperous reign. The Nile River, the lifeblood of Egypt, supported a civilization that was both ancient and enduring. The grandeur of their temples and the majesty of their monuments spoke of a people deeply connected to their gods and their land. The Egyptians had created a vibrant culture, renowned for its art, architecture, and advancements in mathematics and medicine. Their hieroglyphs, etched in stone, told stories of gods and kings, of triumphs and tribulations. Their knowledge of medicine and mathematics was unparalleled, laying the foundations for future generations. Further south, the island of Crete was home to the Minoans, a seafaring civilization known for its elaborate palaces and beautiful frescoes. The Minoans were masterful sailors and traders, their ships navigating the treacherous waters of the Mediterranean with ease. Their palaces, such as the one at Knossos, were centers of political and religious life, adorned with vibrant frescoes depicting scenes of nature and mythology. On the Greek mainland, the Mycenaeans, ruled by warrior kings, built impressive citadels and engaged in extensive trade networks. The Mycenaeans were fierce warriors, their citadels standing as testaments to their strength and resilience. They were also shrewd traders, their ships carrying goods across the seas, forging connections with distant lands. These civilizations, though distinct, were bound together by complex diplomatic relationships, trade routes, and shared cultural practices. The exchange of goods and ideas fostered a sense of interconnectedness, creating a world where the actions of one civilization could ripple across the entire region. This interconnected world, however, was not without its challenges. The very ties that bound these civilizations together also made them vulnerable to the same threats. Conflicts and rivalries were ever present, as empires vied for dominance and control. Competition for resources, political intrigue, and the ever-present threat of war loomed large. The quest for power and wealth drove empires to expand their territories, often leading to clashes and confrontations. Political machinations and alliances shifted constantly, creating an atmosphere of uncertainty and tension. Nevertheless, the Late Bronze Age was a time of relative stability and prosperity, a golden age that would soon be brutally cut short. The achievements of these civilizations, their art, their architecture, their innovations, all stood as a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. But as the storm clouds gathered on the horizon, the world they had built was about to face an unprecedented upheaval, one that would leave an indelible mark on history. The true identity of the Sea Peoples remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the ancient world. These enigmatic groups appeared suddenly in the historical record, leaving a trail of destruction and upheaval in their wake. Their sudden emergence and the subsequent chaos they caused have puzzled historians for centuries. Their origins, their motivations, even their very name, given to them by the Egyptians, are shrouded in uncertainty. The Egyptians referred to them as the Sea Peoples, a term that has since become synonymous with mystery and intrigue. But who were these people, really? Were they refugees fleeing from some unknown catastrophe? Or were they marauding invaders driven by greed and ambition? Were they a unified force or a loose confederation of different groups? This question has sparked much debate among scholars. Some believe the Sea Peoples were a single, cohesive entity, while others argue they were a collection of disparate groups, each with its own unique identity and agenda. The truth may lie somewhere in between, with the Sea Peoples representing a coalition of various tribes and factions, united by a common cause or circumstance. Were they driven by desperation, ambition, or something else entirely? The motivations of the Sea Peoples are as elusive as their origins. Some theories suggest they were displaced by natural disasters or economic collapse, forcing them to seek new lands and resources. Others propose they were opportunistic raiders, taking advantage of the weakened state of the civilizations they encountered. Still, others believe they were mercenaries, hired by warring factions to tip the balance of power in their favor. Egyptian records provide the most detailed accounts of the Sea Peoples, describing them as a coalition of seafaring raiders. These records, however, are not without their biases. The Egyptians, having faced the Sea Peoples in battle, likely portrayed them in a negative light, emphasizing their destructive nature and downplaying any potential alliances or peaceful interactions. They are depicted with distinctive clothing and weaponry, suggesting diverse origins. The variety in their attire and armaments hints at a multicultural composition, with influences from different regions and cultures. This diversity has led some researchers to speculate that the Sea Peoples were not a single ethnic group, but rather a melting pot of various peoples united by common goals or circumstances. Some scholars believe they originated from the Aegean Sea, possibly displaced Mycenaeans or Minoans. The collapse of these ancient civilizations around the same time as the rise of the Sea Peoples suggests a possible connection. The Mycenaeans and Minoans, facing internal strife and external pressures, may have taken to the seas in search of new opportunities, eventually becoming part of the Sea Peoples' confederation. Others point to Anatolia, Cyprus, or even as far afield as Sardinia and Sicily. These regions, too, experienced significant upheaval during this period, making them potential sources of the Sea Peoples. The presence of similar artifacts and cultural practices in these areas supports the theory that the Sea Peoples were a diverse group with origins spanning a wide geographical area. The names of the various groups that made up the Sea Peoples, such as the Shurden, the Luca, and the Peliset, offer tantalizing clues. These names appear in multiple ancient texts suggesting that the Sea Peoples were known and feared by many different civilizations. Each name likely represents a distinct group within the larger Sea Peoples coalition, each with its own history and identity. Some of these names correspond to known groups, while others remain enigmatic. The Shurden, for example, are often associated with Sardinia, while the Luca are linked to the region of Lycia in Anatolia. The Peliset, on the other hand, are believed to be the Philistines, a group that settled in Canaan and became a significant force in the region. The Peliset, for example, have been linked to the Philistines, who settled on the southern coast of Canaan. This connection is supported by both archaeological evidence and ancient texts, which describe the Philistines as a formidable people with advanced military capabilities. The Philistines' arrival in Canaan marked a significant shift in the region's power dynamics, further highlighting the impact of the Sea Peoples. The lack of definitive archaeological evidence and the fragmentary nature of the written sources leave ample room for speculation. Despite numerous excavations and studies, concrete evidence of the Sea Peoples' origins and activities remains elusive. This scarcity of information has only fueled the mystery, leading to a wide range of theories and interpretations. The enigma of the Sea Peoples continues to captivate historians and archaeologists, fueling ongoing research and debate. Each new discovery, no matter how small, adds another piece to the puzzle, bringing us one step closer to understanding these mysterious figures from our past. As we continue to explore and uncover the secrets of the ancient world, the story of the Sea Peoples remains a fascinating and enduring chapter in human history. The arrival of the Sea Peoples in the eastern Mediterranean around 1200 BCE marked the beginning of a period of unprecedented chaos and destruction. Their raids were swift and brutal, leaving a trail of shattered kingdoms and smoldering ruins in their wake. One of the first major powers to feel their wrath was the Hittite Empire. The Hittite capital, Hattusa, once a bustling center of power and culture, was sacked and burned, its magnificent temples and palaces reduced to rubble. The Hittite Empire, weakened by internal strife and the loss of its key allies, crumbled under the onslaught. The Mycenaean civilization of Greece also suffered a similar fate. Mycenaean cities, including Mycenae itself, Pylos, and Tiryns, were attacked and destroyed. The once mighty Mycenaean palaces, centers of trade and administration, were abandoned or violently overthrown. The Mycenaean civilization, already weakened by internal conflicts, collapsed into obscurity. The Sea Peoples did not confine their attacks to land. They also targeted coastal cities and disrupted maritime trade routes. The disruption of trade networks, a lifeline for many late Bronze Age civilizations, had a devastating impact on the economies and stability of the region. Subscribe for more interesting facts.